Alright, as was requested, I was going to do a video on how to create this part right here. And so we're going to take a quick look at the dimensions here of this L-shaped block and then this triangle portion here. And we're going to create it with a new sketch. So I'm going to open up a new standard part file. Create a 2D sketch. And as we discussed in class, because I'm actually creating it from the top view, let me straighten that out so you can see the top view right here. I'm going to use the XZ plane. So I'm going to create the top sketch right here using a 2-point rectangle. I'm going to start at the origin. And I'm going to go up and to the right. And before I left click or anything else, I'm going to type in the dimensions, which is 1/2 inch. And I'm going to tab, and this one is 1.5 inches. I'm going to hit enter. And in order to see that, I'm going to hit the top view right there on the view cube. And then I'm going to create another rectangle going off and to the right here. This one will be, I believe it was 1 3/4 inches. And that is 1/2 inch depth. So that the 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here, that's kind of a uniform depth for that L-shaped block. And this is going to be 1.5, and this is actually going to be 2 1/4 inches wide. And so I'm going to go ahead and straighten that out. If you want to pause the video to make sure that your dimensions are the same as mine, sometimes it takes a second to be able to grab those. You've got to get that symbol there, the moving symbol. So you can pause the video now and you can try to create those two rectangles just like that. The next thing I'm going to create is the line that's going to come from this corner and up. And the green dot is very important down there in the corner. And I'm going to get this to click on that line right there. And if you see the symbol that has the arrow pointed to a red line, that's the symbol I want. That means that this vertex, this endpoint of this line, is going to be collinear with this line that I'm clicking on. And then I'm going to dimension from this point right here, the little red dot, to this red point right there, that dot. I'm going to drag off and I'm going to create a dimension that is 1/2 inch. You'll notice that it moves accordingly to 1/2 inch. If you want to pause the video to try to get that right. And then next I'm going to finish the sketch. Click home so I can see this in a 3-dimensional layout here. I'm going to extrude all of these shapes. I'm going to do that 2 inches. I'll hit OK. So that is the initial solid right here from that particular shape. And we need to cut this triangle out right here. And rather than try to recreate the whole image there, I'm going to come back over here and borrow this sketch. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share that sketch. And I'm going to create a new sketch on the top right here. But I'm going to look at it 3-dimensionally, and I'm going to project the geometry from down here. And if I can grab the lines, I can't really see the lines, so I'm going to have to kind of flip it up underneath here. I want this line, I want this line, and I want that line. If you accidentally selected all of them, it's okay. But I really just want those 3 lines right here that form the triangle at the top. I'm going to finish that sketch. And now I can extrude this shape. And when I extrude it, it wants to create material up here, but I want to actually cut. So I'm going to come over here and select cut. And I don't want to go down very far, maybe 1/2 inch, I think is the dimension. And that looks about right according to the sketch that we did in our notebooks. Hit OK. The last thing to do to clean this up is to come over here on sketch 1, right click on it, hit visibility, just uncheck that box. Visibility needs to be checked off. So when I go to select it now, it's a clean shape right there. It's clean solid. That is a good solid.